Stella Boonshoft wrote a blog post with a photo of her in her bra and her underwear, and it's creating quite a buzz on the Huffington Post. It literally has over 270,000 likes. You can see the picture right now. And joining us in the Google Hangout is Stella. Hey, Stella.
Hey, Stella.
Hey, Stella.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
So, did you anticipate at any time, and by the way, I'll introduce everybody else in the Google Hangout in a minute, but did you have any idea that what you wrote, this started on your Tumblr, would blow up to be such a big deal? And if you could tell us a little bit about what you wrote and why you wrote it, that'd be great.
Well, first of all, I had no idea that it would blow up in this way. I wrote it mainly as a post for personal healing, for helping myself with accepting who I am, accepting my body. I've struggled with body image issues and stuff like that for many years, pretty much all of my preteen years and my teen years thus far. So by putting it out there, I was hoping that maybe my message of acceptance would help other young girls who were struggling with body image. But I had no idea it would have this kind of effect, and it's been incredible. It's been amazing.
What specifically happened to encourage you to go ahead and take the leap and press send on that fantastic photo? And honestly, even better than the photo was the message you sent with the photo.
Well, it was definitely a spur-of-the-moment decision. I'm not going to lie about that. I was sitting in my room. I was getting dressed. I thought, I really like the way I look, and I'm really happy, and I haven't felt like that probably my whole life. And I was thinking back on all the people who had bullied me and put me down, and I thought, this is so wrong that we live in a climate like this where people think that they have the authority to judge other people based on what they look like, based on their weight, based on their supposed or perceived health. And I thought, this is important and I need to do this. So that was kind of what motivated me to just go ahead and see what happened,
Let me just point out, if you guys want to see this blog post, it's on HuffPost Women. I've pulled it up on my screen so you all can take a look. Here's the headline: Self-Portrait, Ask Me Why I Took This Picture. And it's in the resource well, directly below the video as well. Stella, a question I wanted to ask you is, you wrote this whole thing, right? That's on HuffPost Women?
Yes.
And so you write, this picture might be considered obscene because the subject is not thin. I don't know. I mean, when I read that, it's certainly not something that I consider obscene. But tell me about the experiences that you've had that would cause you to write that.
Well, that's a good question. In America, specifically like where I live in New York City, every day I'm bombarded with images of thin women in their bikinis and their bra and underwear, naked, covering their chest with their hand with another naked man. All these hypersexualized images that are used to sell clothing, to sell perfume, to sell food, to sell anything. It's all a bunch of naked women. And yet they're all stick skinny. And if someone is out there who is bigger like me, who's a size 12 or 14, it's somehow obscene, or it's gross, or it's too exploitive, or it's too much exposure to show, a stomach that isn't flat, to show stretch marks, to show arms that are kind of fat and flabby. Somehow that is more obscene in America than showing a woman with a string bikini on because she weighs, 95 pounds.
Sarah, do you feel that the issues that you were dealing with work from mostly men or women or both? Stella.
Yeah. I don't know. I would say, this is going to make me sound like a misandrist, but I would say that we are conditioned as women in this country, which the media, definitely Congress, is overwhelmingly run by men. And we're conditioned as women to hate on other women and to criticize other women. And men are also trained that, a woman's body is a sum of her parts, and we pick apart those bodies. And if that body isn't perceived to be perfect in every way, then she's not worth anything. So I would say I think the pressure greatly comes from men who then condition women to criticize other women.
Stella, I'm going to go to a comment right now from someone watching us live right now. This is from MI Woman 25 seconds ago. She says, Stella, you're gorgeous.
Thank you.
Well, has that been some of the responses that you've been getting from people? Like, as you sort of get these personal responses, have you been hearing from people who have experienced similar things and who are really heartened by your courage to just get out there and say, fuck you? I mean, that's literally what your blog post says, and I love it.
Yeah.
It does say that. And that people have criticized me for using, profanity, but really, I'm 18 years old. Like, when I'm really mad, you just want to scream, fuck, you want to get that out there. And I've gotten upwards of 1,000 messages on Tumblr, tons of emails, Facebook requests, everything. And, I'm really trying to read them all because it's beautiful, the response I've gotten. But, the most important thing I have to remember is, like, I did this for me in part, but I really did this to, try to inspire and help other young girls. So the messages I get from young girls are really the most important ones. Those are the ones that, remind me that I did the right thing.
I think we can all say a big collective fuck you, as your blog says, to all of the people out there that are giving you a hard time.
Agreed.
Stella, we know that you're at a party and you have to go, but I want to say thank you so much for first of all, your inspirational post, and for taking the time, out of your Friday evening to come on and talk with us at HuffPost Live.
Absolutely. Thank you so much
Stella.
for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Well
come
done,
back,
well
hopefully.
done.
Come back soon.
All right, I will.
Take care.